Welcome to the NACD Annual Meeting Award Session, where we'll recognize some remarkable leaders in conservation. NACD is pleased to join with our partners to honor the individuals and conservation districts who have made outstanding contributions to the locally led conservation movement. We'll begin today's ceremony by recognizing one of our partners, the National Conservation Districts Employees Association. NCDEA is near and dear to our hearts, partially because we all know the tireless work our conservation district employees put in and day out. This year, we're honoring an extraordinary person who has helped our conservation district succeed. NCDEA Outstanding Conservation District Employee, Malia Tyus of DeSoto County Soil and Water Conservation District in Mississippi. Congratulations, Malia, on this award. I'm now going to welcome your Secretary Treasurer, Ian Cunningham, to present our 2020 membership awards.
Thank you, Tim. During this ceremony, we'll begin by recognizing the states and territories with 100% of their districts contributing to NACD membership dues. We'll also be recognizing the top 10 states and territories that contributed the most in membership dues to the National Association. From our work with federal agencies to producing national news publications, creating educational and outreach materials, and helping more money get back into the hands of conservation districts, NACD is working hard every day on behalf of locally led conservation. Every dollar contributed helps to support these endeavors and to further both our impact as a national association and the reach of your conservation district. With such uncertain times, your membership contributions help to provide the National Association with some stability. And we sincerely appreciate every contribution our members are able to provide. First, I'll announce the names of the states and territories that have achieved 100% district participation in NACD membership payments in fiscal year 2020. Alabama, Virginia, Nebraska, Maryland, West Virginia, Delaware, Rhode Island, and Hawaii. Next, we will present awards for the top 10 contributing states that made the largest financial contribution to NACD in fiscal year 2020. In 10th place, contributing $34,592.82 is Kansas. In 9th place, contributing $38,266.58 is Virginia. In 8th place, contributing $38,649.50 is Kentucky. In 7th place, contributing $41,726.01 is Iowa. In 6th place, contributing $42,137.50 is Texas. In 5th place, contributing $44,856 is Minnesota. In 4th place, contributing $45,864.01 is Ohio. In 3rd place, contributing $48,717.50 is North Carolina. In 2nd place, contributing $51,443 is Indiana. And making the largest contribution to NACD this past year, contributing $52,700 is Alabama. NACD is a member-based grassroots organization, and we sincerely appreciate the support we've received not only from these districts, but from our members in all states and territories. Next, I invite Kim LaFleur, the district's Operations and Member Services Committee Chair and NACD's second Vice President, to take the virtual stage.
Thank you, Ian. Good afternoon. As Chair of NACD's District Operations and Membership Services Committee, it has been my distinct honor over the past year to witness how conservation districts and state and territory associations step up in the name of leadership. In 2010, NACD established the District Official State Training Recognition Program to honor states and territories that have developed and implemented a statewide district official training program. Qualifying states facilitate a district official training program that meets at least 50% of the minimum knowledge requirements identified by NACD and the National Association of State Conservation Agencies. Starting last year, the DOMS committee decided to honor the states and territories that have gone above and beyond in their training curriculum. States and territories whose curriculum meet at least 50% of the indicated curriculum are identified as bronze. States whose curriculum meets at least 75% are identified as silver, and states whose curriculum meets 100% of the NACD and NASCA recommended training elements are identified as gold. Our gold level states in 2020 are Arizona, Kentucky, Maine, Nebraska, New Mexico, and Washington State. If your state or territory is not recognized on the map, please contact NACD's Director of Membership, Kimberly Eldrick. Congratulations to all of these states for their strong commitment to developing future conservation leaders.
Thank you, Kim and Ian. We're now going to transition to the Ncpp Hugh, Hammond, Bennett Awards for Conservation Excellence. Joining me again to present these awards is Acting Deputy Undersecretary for Farm Production and Conservation, Kevin Norton.
Thank you, Tim. The Hugh Hammond Bennett Award for Conservation Excellence was established by the National Conservation Planning Partnership to recognize individuals at the local, state, and national level for extraordinary achievements in the contribution of soil and water conservation movement across the United States. Invoking the leadership and dedication of our founder, Hugh Hammond Bennett, the father of modern soil conservation movement, the Bennett Award is presented to the conservation planner and one conservation producer each year for their contributions to conservation planning, pioneering a new and innovative approaches to conservation planning, advancement of soil health adoption, and civic engagement. This year, I'm pleased to announce the 2020 recipient of the Conservation Planner Hugh Hammond Bennett Award for Conservation Excellence, Nrcs employee Sylvia Hickenlooper of Longmont, Colorado. Sylvia has served as the soil conservationist for Nrcs for 18 years and has been a certified conservation planner since 2006. Her passion for whole system analysis, resource management system planning has led to over 120 completed conservation contracts covering 170,000 acres between the Brighton, Fort Collins, and Longmont field office. She currently works in 2 different field offices covering a diverse environmental, demographic, political, and social landscape. Her ability to communicate effectively with all types of producers has made her a highly sought after conservation planner. Her conservation planning achievements range from long-term improved conservation practice management to infrastructure improvements, in particular around rotational livestock grazing. Sylvia is a very strong supporter of local soil and water conservation districts, actively advocating for meaningful projects, assisting in district employee hiring process, and providing training to new employees, both Nrcs and conservation district, as they come into service of conservation. She understands the interconnectedness of Nrcs and conservation districts and diligently fosters conservation, collaboration, and progress between the two. As you can tell, Sylvia has a passion and a commitment to education and training. For 10 years, she spearheaded, organized, and conducted an event titled From Our Lands to Your Hands, a 3-day experience teaching students where their food comes from and why agriculture is important to them, their community, and to our nation. The event has now become a staple of 4th graders at the Boulder Valley and St. Vrain Valley school districts. Sylvia is influential with her peers and speaks out on conservation issues. Her efforts and influence have changed the mindset of traditional farmers and ranchers to understand soil health principles and management systems. Please join me in welcoming the winner of the 2020 Conservation Planner Hugh Hammond Bennett Award for Conservation Excellence, Sylvia Hickenlooper. Congratulations.
Well, I would like to say thank you to the National Association of Conservation Districts for this award. I am truly humbled to receive this award, especially since it shares the name of Mr. Bennett. His passion, tenacity, and vision for conservation is a fortitude to his amazing legacy. And anytime that I've been asked to give a talk regarding NRCS, it has never been without the introduction to the history and the amazing path Mr. Bennett created for soil conservation. Although my work hasn't been legacy making, it has been a tremendous journey. Anytime we embark on a journey, whether we're visiting family or another continent, it really isn't the act of the journey that creates those lasting memories. It's the people that we meet along the way. And the same is ring true with my career with NRCS as a soil conservation. It has been a collection of experiences that has developed this journey. The foundation of my conservation voyage began with the guidance and mentorship provided by my supervisors and the experienced staff that I have been honored to work with over the years, as well as the collaboration with other conservationists, technicians, specialists, and partners and other agencies. However, most importantly, along my journey, it's been the interaction with the clients and producers that I have had the privilege to work with over the years. As a conservationist, it's our job to help provide tools, education, and resources to landowners and managers. However, it's been their valuable time and shared experience of being on the land that has been my greatest teacher. I want to personally thank Vanessa McCracken and the Longmont NRCS office for nominating me for this award. It has been wonderful to work with this amazing team. I also owe a great deal of gratitude to the Longmont and Boulder Valley Conservation District supervisors. They have been monumental players in the work that I have had the opportunity and pleasure to partake in while at the Longmont NRCS field office. The guidance and direction that they have provided me over the years has been the building block to my understanding of local conservation, not to mention their individual time and sometimes the use of their land to install demonstrations and studies pertaining to improved management practices has been instrumental in my further education and understanding. I also want to thank my husband and my son and my family for all their support and encouragement over the years. And again, thank you so much, NACD, for this award. And I also want to congratulate the other recipients of 2020. Thank you.
And again, congratulations, Sylvia, and thank you for your commitment to locally led conservation. Like Hugh Hammond Bennett, NACD and NRCS know that conservation happens on the ground through the help and coordinated partnerships with our nation's agriculture producers. Only with them can we make effective conservation happen. It's their land, it's their resource, it's their heart in stewardship. This year's Conservation Producer Hugh Hammond Bennett Award for Conservation Excellence goes to Richard and Sarah Grimm of the Grimm Ranch in Bone Steel, South Dakota. Richard and Sarah operate a family ranch of mostly rangeland and some cropland. They have been enrolled in the Conservation Stewardship Program since 2010, using their chosen advancements to better their operation. Richard and Sarah are very active in the community, with Richard serving as a local brand inspector and Sarah as secretary of the Mid-Missouri River Prescribed Burn Association. Through their activities and experience, they have become leaders in the region in helping other producers better understand how to safely use burning as a tool. The couple is constantly trying to improve their operation through implementation of new ideas and innovative practices. One example of their innovation is the cut and stuff tactic for cedar tree cutting, piling, and burning, which allowed them to reclaim hundreds of acres of rangeland. Richard and Sarah are conscientious operators and have an integrity for what is right and good, not only for their business, but more importantly, for the health of their natural resources. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Richard and Sarah Grimm.
Good day, everyone. My name is Sarah Grimm, and along with my husband, Rich Grimm, we are accepting this award on behalf of the Grimm Ranch, our 5th generation family beef cattle operation. We live in wildly beautiful country right along the Missouri River in south central South Dakota, and we're proud our place is a part of this important conversation. We want to specifically make sure we thank Brandon Walter, our prior district conservationist that not only nominated us, but also helped us implement a lot of these practices. And thank Andrew Steffen, our current district conservationist, who continues to help us find new practices and ways to work them into the ranch. Because we spend most of our time plugging away at our operation without much fanfare, each season brings its own labors and worries. It's an honor to be recognized for some of the work we have done. Conservation has always been an important part of our ranch, but over the past decade or so, it has become more and more of a creative focus, a way to try new things, a way to invest in the really long-term future of our operation, a way to adopt practices that will pay dividends for our land, our family, and our community. We've adopted many new conservation practices over the past several years, including shuffling water systems to protect water quality, enrolling in CSP, planting cover crops, and doing nutrient testing that allows us to rotate cattle grazing with more precision. We also adopted prescribed burning, the new practice that we are most enthusiastic about. Cedar trees have in recent years taken over a significant amount of grassland in our rural county. In thinking about how to attack the issue several years ago, we started doing research about prescribed burning and indigenous land management practices. This led to discussions with like-minded people, grant writing, and participation in prescribed burns for 2,000 plus South Dakota acres per year. The Mid-Missouri River Prescribed Burn Association has become a passion journey lined with new friendships and collaborative problem solving. We have reclaimed hundreds of acres of rangeland on our place as well as others. As you all know, these kinds of practices aren't just a simple decision and a quick change. They take hours of planning, preparation, and implementation, and they can often seem like a precarious financial sacrifice up front. But we've seen over and over that they pay them for themselves in the long run. We have to say we are particularly proud to win the Hugh Hammond Bennett Award for Conservation Excellence because we recognize that Hugh was a man with unique wisdom. Mr. Bennett saw not only that conservation was the morally right way to care for natural resources, not only that conservation was essential to soil health for future generations of producers and consumers, but also that conservation was urgently necessary for the well-being of rural communities. Almost always, rural economies depend on the natural resources that surround them. In order to thrive, to have healthcare and schools and banks and grocery stores, we have to have thriving agriculture operations. To preserve that economic stability and growth, we know that natural resources, in our case, soil, water, and grasslands, must be tended to, gently cared for, and preserved. My husband and I grew up in Gregory County. Our parents grew up in Gregory County. We raised our children here, and many of our children and grandchildren are making homes and livings in Gregory County too. We've volunteered, donated, and brainstormed every time there was a major need in our community. Besides taking care of the ranch, Rich is a South Dakota livestock brand inspector and helps to ensure the safe movement of cattle and horses in and out of the brand areas and at the local sale barns. I've worked in county government overseeing the collection of the property taxes that fund our roads, bridges, schools, and law enforcement. We love our community. We are honored to accept an award that recognizes the interconnectedness of land, family, and rural community. And we find joy in discovering practices that will help make that a reality for many more generations to come. Thank you very much.
Again, congratulations. The staff, Boulder Valley, Longmont, Gregory County Conservation Districts, and their Nrcs field office will also receive recognition for exceptional service in conservation planning as exemplified by Sylvia, Richard, and Sarah's stewardship. The next award this evening is close to many of our hearts. Following the loss of your leader and our friend, Olin Sims, in 2007, NACD and Nrcs established the Olin Sims Conservation Leadership Award in his memory. Olin was a rancher from McFadden, Wyoming, who lived a life distinguished by years of volunteer service to conservation through his local Medicine Bow Conservation District, the Wyoming Association Conservation District, and many years in NACD leadership. The award is presented annually to an individual, district, or organization that has gone above and beyond in the promotion of conservation of private lands. This year, the award goes to Jamie Johnson of Frankfort, South Dakota. Jamie farms 2,300 acres of crop and grassland with her husband, Brian, and their family. She works meticulously to preserve the land with her family and that her and her family live on. Jamie and Brian are NACD soil health champions and employ the 5 principles of soil health on their operation. In the family's 3-crop minimum rotation, they keep their soil covered, manage their land for continuous living roots, and ensure plant biodiversity, practice no-till, and have integrated livestock. Jamie has become a leader in the agriculture community and serves as the Spink County Conservation District Supervisor, where she previously served as chairman. Since 2017, she's also been director of the South Dakota Soybean Association, where she focuses on producer education and outreach. She works diligently with local schools, Future Farmers America chapters, 4-H clubs to teach the importance of soil health to all ages and help create the next generation of conservation-minded producers and actually citizens of our country. Jamie believes wholeheartedly in being a steward of the land and continuing to learn despite the uncertainty of these trying new things. She has dedicated her life to ensuring that she leaves a legacy behind for those who come after her. Please join me in welcoming this year's NACD NRCS Olin Sims Awardee, Jamie Johnson. Congratulations.
First, I have to thank God for this land and the opportunity to be a good steward in our practices. I would like to thank NRCS and NACD for this award, and to our state South Dakota NRCS and State Conservation District Association and the other partners for their work in the process of nominating me for this award. I was completely out of the loop on this, and I was shocked and confused, and I am deeply humbled to be honored with the Olin Sims Award. To my family, to my husband, Brian, I want to thank him because he is my partner in everything that we do. I want to thank him for being my sounding board and my voice of reason, but also to thank him for listening to my ideas and for implementing them. I'm so very thankful to have married into a family farm that is conservation minded. And I'm thankful for taking over that operation that has 30+ years of conservation practices in place. So we don't have to start over from scratch, and we can continue to build upon the practices that have been implemented. I want to thank my in-laws, Alan and Mickey, for letting Brian and I try new things in the space to learn in the process. I also would like to thank my family back in Nebraska for teaching me at a very young age that being involved in our community is important. I want to thank my late grandfather, Leo Suckup, who also served on his natural resource district and as an advisor to the local water district in Nebraska. He was an advocate for conservation his entire life, and I'd like to thank him for his great example. To our local partners here in Spink County, South Dakota, I'd like to thank our local conservation district, our outstanding staff, our monumentous past and present board members, which I am a current board member of. I'd like to thank them for their passion and their innovation and support to all of our crazy ideas. Our local NRCS office, past, most especially and present staff, has been integral in our conservation story. I'd like to thank them for pushing us and to try new things and providing the human resources needed to accomplish those goals. We wouldn't be here without you. On a larger scale, I'd like to thank our state South Dakota NRCS staff, the South Dakota Soil Health Coalition, the South Dakota Grassland Coalition, South Dakota Cattlemen's Association, South Dakota Soybean Association, the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, and the Sand County Foundation for giving Brian and I and our forum a very large platform in which to lead and learn in the conservation space of the ag industry. And last, I'd like to thank the South Dakota Ag and Rural Leadership Program for providing me with 2 years of leadership training across the state of South Dakota. Not only great training, but meeting and learning from great classmates that have become integral parts of our life and our operation. Thank you for pushing us and creating space for us to learn and grow. Again, thank you for this award. And as a young leader in the conservation world, I'm deeply humbled to receive this recognition of the Olin Sims Award. I hope to continue to promote and lead conservation efforts wherever I am able. Thank you.
Congratulations to Sylvia, Richard, Sarah, and Jamie, and thank you, Kevin, for helping to present these awards. It is my pleasure to present the winners of the 2020 NACD Service Awards. Every day, conservation leaders from across the nation are involved in incredible projects and programs that are shaping our future for the better. NACD's Friend of Conservation Award recognizes a person or group not directly in the Conservation District family, but who has undoubtedly left an impact on our work. It is my distinct pleasure to announce Foster Brady Farm in Monroe, Georgia, as this year's winner. For more than 50 years, Foster Brady Farm has partnered with the Walton County Conservation District and Monroe Nrcs office in planning and developing conservation practices that help protect and conserve natural resources on their land. From row cropping to cattle and now vegetable farming, conservation is a focal point of their lives. They have worked hard to create and maintain an environmentally and economically sustainable farming operation that includes wildlife, grazing, forestry, and cropland. Some of their practices include fire breaks, prescribed burns, micro-irrigation, cover crops, integrated pest management, and rotational grazing. The family's commitment to the protection and conservation of natural resources and sustainable farming extends beyond the farm's boundaries. Since 1969, they have been conducting educational conservation outreach events for their community, including food tours and pollinator habitat field days. Cheryl, Hal, Clay, and Paula Brady continue to show the importance of putting conservation practices on the ground to enhance production, income sustainability, and to educate the community. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the 2020 Friend of Conservation Award winner, Foster Brady Farm.
Hello, everyone, and greetings from Foster Brady Farm in Monroe, Georgia. We hope you and your family and your work family are safe and well. It would be great to be with everyone in New Orleans to meet and greet with you, but by the same token, we appreciate NACD's difficult decision to go virtual in the best interest of all. We're so honored and humbled to receive the NACD Friends of Conservation Award. Conserving our farmland is of utmost importance to us. We're the fourth generation to farm this land, and our son Clay and daughter-in-law Paula are fifth. We strive to keep the land healthy and sustainable for years to come by keeping up with and incorporating best management practices.
Hal and I, our son Clay, and daughter-in-law Paula, would like to thank NACD for considering and choosing us for this award. We appreciate all of your hard work and dedication to conservation. We are where we are today because of the guidance and educational opportunities that you have provided for landowners like us. Thank you.
We know lots of farmers and landowners in our area, some across the state of Georgia, and some even across the nation. They're hardworking and have a heart for preserving the land. We salute you and encourage you to continue in your efforts. Our land is precious, and our responsibility is to be good stewards of what we have been entrusted.
We would like to also thank the Walton County Soil and Water Conservation District. We have a great group of folks that serve our district and provide opportunities for farmers and landowners. A special thanks to our local NRCS office, especially Jose Pagan and Carolyn Staffens. They are always ready to help, and if they can't, they will find it. We would also like to thank Georgia Forestry, DNR Wildlife Resources Division, the University of Georgia, UGA Extension, and Walton EMC for always being ready to answer questions and to help solve problems. Last but not least, our family, friends, workers, and volunteers that help to keep things growing. Much has changed since my great-grandparents acquired the farm in 1860. I suppose they would raise an eyebrow or two at the paved road and traffic that goes by the home place every day, the tractors that till the land, the planted pines where row crops and pastures once were, the hoop houses and row covers that protect the produce, the irrigation system, and what on earth would they say to a virtual conference? I do believe that they, along with my grandparents and my parents, would be very pleased at where we are today, taking care of the land and preserving it for the next generation. Thank you again, NACD, for this honor, and may God bless you and God bless the USA.
Congratulations. The next award recognizes someone who has made significant contributions to the conservation of our natural resources. This year's NACD Distinguished Service Award winner is Joe Gum of Elkins, West Virginia. Joe Gum has given 35 years of service to the West Virginia Association of Conservation Districts and NACD, serving as a leader at both the state and national levels. As a conservation district supervisor, he works diligently to ensure that conservationists and conservation districts have the tools needed to get conservation on the ground. Joe is dedicated to teaching youth about the importance of conservation. He has helped establish the first West Virginia Envirothon competition, has served on the Envirothon committee for 24 years, and is chairman of the finance committee. Joe has served 2 terms as president of the West Virginia Association of Conservation Districts and was responsible for incorporating partnering agencies such as the Natural Resource Conservation Service, Farm Service Agency, West Virginia Conservation Agency, West Virginia Division of Forestry, and many others into assisting with conservation efforts. Joe also operates a beef cattle operation incorporating the soil health practices he advocates for into his own life. His belief in soil conservation and farming for a better West Virginia and a better nation will forever be endured by all. Please join me in congratulating the 2020 Distinguished Service Award winner, Joe Gum.
Hello, fellow conservationists. I am deeply humbled and honored to receive this award. I have chosen to be active in the soil conservation arena for over 35 years. During this time, I have visited Capitol Hill and the West Virginia legislation to build working relationships for the district as well as the state. It's been my pleasure to see projects from inception to completion. And some of the projects I'm most proud of, I'll share with you just a few of them. The first one is the Elk Fork Musical Water Supply Dam, serving the household needs of hundreds of families in Randolph County. Now, that's not a flood control dam, that's potable water. Of course, West Virginia has 170 dams. And the only one that's potable water is the one I just spoke of. Other projects is the State Lime Program and the Multifor Rose Program. These two kind of go together. Some years back, we got funding for the Multifor Rose Program, and we put that on the ground. And once we got the roses off the ground, we looked at it and we thought it'd be great if we had some lime to put on the ground to help the grass. So we went to the state of West Virginia and we got a lime program, a 50-50 cost share. So we put the lime on the soil, and it's been a great help. Some of the other projects was the Envirothon that we worked very well with over the years in West Virginia. We have about 35, 40 teams participate in the Envirothon. One of the greatest accomplishments that we have here in West Virginia, as well as Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Virginia, is the Appalachian Grazing Conference. We have about, 300 or more farmers attend this grazing conference. We have great speakers, and it's something we do every other year, and it's something that's we get a lot of good compliments on, and it's a great program. It wouldn't be fair if I didn't mention the partnerships we have here in West Virginia. We work very closely with the West Virginia Conservation Agency, the Nrcs, Farm Service Agency, RC&Ds. Without them, we'd have they just make it better to get conservation on the ground. And it's a great pleasure for me to work with them. I've been, like I said, 35 years as a district supervisor, and it's been great for me to serve in that capacity. Again, I'm proud to be part of a great working team in West Virginia, and I thank you for this honor.
Congratulations again to our extraordinary award recipients for their contributions to advancing locally led conservation. What you do makes a difference, and we're proud to honor you. As we close out the evening, I'd like to remind everyone to visit the auction tab in these final hours of the auction. Now is your chance to secure your bid or place any last bids. The auction will remain open until 1:30 p.m. tomorrow, February 10th. Tomorrow morning, join us for our 3 conservation symposia from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. You can read session descriptions and a list of the speakers at the bottom of the breakout sessions tab. Our closing general session will begin tomorrow afternoon at 3:15 p.m. Eastern, and we hope you'll join us as we close out our meeting and look ahead to the rest of the year in celebration of NACD's 75th anniversary. Good night.